Have you ever listed a clothing item on eBay that you just knew would sell, but then it just sat there? No views, no offers, no sale. And you're left wondering what went wrong. Or maybe you're newer to listing on eBay and you're just staring at that listing screen, wondering if you're doing everything right. Well, my name is LeeMeier and I've been selling clothes online for years. I've sold thousands of items, have made well over 100,000 in net profit, paid off a house doing this, and now I get to help other people make bigger profits, faster sales, and build consistent income doing this. And over the years, I've noticed some of the same listing mistakes over and over again. Some of these mistakes make buyers scroll right past your items. Some of them make your listings harder to find. And some can actually cost you sales and profits altogether. So in this video, I'm sharing 10 things to never do in your listings. There's simple changes that you can make right now that can help you create better listings and give your items the best chance of selling and selling for the most money. And make sure you stick around for number 9 because it's one of the easiest fixes on this list and it can actually help you make more profit per item. So let's get started with the one that I see all of the time. Number 1, using wrinkled photos. Now, before anybody comes after me in the comments, I'm going to be honest. As a busy mom of 4, I do not sit around steaming every single item, but presentation does matter because buyers judge quality in a matter of a split second. You probably heard the saying, a picture is worth 1,000 words. And in reselling, a picture is worth money. Wrinkles can make an item look neglected, lower quality, or less valuable than it actually is. So instead of steaming, here's my little shortcut. If something is especially wrinkled, I'll throw it into the dryer for a few minutes with something else that's slightly damp. That usually releases enough wrinkles to make a big difference. Now here's the other side of this. Don't get stuck chasing perfection. One of my members recently shared that she had got hung up trying to chase perfectionism, trying to get every little wrinkle out. And at some point you have to ask yourself, am I gonna make an extra $2 or am I gonna make an extra $20? There's a difference between improving presentation and wasting time. Number 2 is skipping measurements. This one costs sales every single day. Buyers wanna know if something's gonna fit. And when you don't provide measurements, you create hesitation. And that hesitation costs you sales. Many buyers won't even message you anymore. They're not going to wait around for a response. They're simply going to move on to another seller. And one objection I hear is, well, another seller already provided measurements. Why do I have to? And the problem is that clothing is not perfectly consistent. Even if it's the exact same brand, the exact same size, the same style, measurements can vary even with the exact item. That's especially true with jeans, sweaters, anything that's been washed. So take that extra minute and provide the measurements in your listing. Number 3, using a generic title, something like women's shirt size medium. That's not helping buyers find your item. The more specific your title is, the easier it is for buyers to find exactly what they're looking for. Think about it this way. Every keyword is another opportunity for a buyer to say yes. For example, with this one, some really good keywords would have been Victorian, romantic, open lace, high neck. This item would have a much better chance of selling with keywords like that versus just women's black shirt size medium. The more relevant yeses you can stack, the more likely your item is to be found and purchased. If you've ever searched something broad like women's shirt medium, there are literally hundreds of thousands of those listings. Actually, 1.2 million. On the flip side, when we search women's shirt medium black, Victorian, high neck, just barely over 200 listings show up. That's a whole lot less competition to deal with. And honestly, this is one area where I see my members have a turnaround in their sales when they start including relevant keywords. And if you're new to reselling and want a simple roadmap for what to source, what to list, and how to start making sales, make sure you grab my free reseller checklist. It's completely free and I'll link it down below. Now let's talk about something that can create expensive problems. Number 4 is hiding flaws. Now I don't think most sellers are trying to be deceptive. Usually they're just moving too fast, but details do matter. You need to notice missing buttons, tiny stains, yellowing around collars, wear between the thighs of jeans, wear at the cuffs, loose threads, small holes. Sometimes the flaw is tiny. And I've sold items that literally had a pen-tipped sized mark, and I still disclosed it. My recommendation: disclose flaws in 3 specific places. Number 1, the photos. Number 2, the description. And number 3, the title. In fact, one thing I do use is an asterisk and write flaw in all caps in the title. I want buyers to know exactly what they're getting before they ever even click into the listing. The more honest you are, the more confidence buyers have in you. And that confidence leads to sales. Number 5, making the first photo weak. Your title is what gets the item found, but your photo is what gets the click. Dark photos, shadowy photos, photos cropped too tightly, photos where buyers can't tell what they're looking at. All of those can hurt performance. Your first photo especially should be bright, clear, easy to understand, and show the entire item whenever possible, because before a buyer reads a single word of your listing, they're looking at that photo. Now, number 6 is forgetting fabric content. A lot of buyers specifically search by fabric: cotton, linen, wool, cashmere, silk, merino wool, performance fabrics. And if you don't include that information, you can miss buyers who are actively searching for exactly what it is you're selling. So don't make buyers guess. Show that fabric tag, include it in your item specifics, and include it in your description. Number 7 is keyword stuffing. Now, this is the exact opposite of using a generic title. Some sellers here use more keywords and then throw every word they can think of into a listing. That's not the goal. The goal is relevant keywords, not random keywords, relevant keywords. If someone searches for grunge fashion and your listing is showing them a princess core blouse, they're scrolling right past it. And that sends a signal to the algorithm that your listing wasn't relevant. Use keywords that accurately describe your item, not keywords just to simply get more impressions. Number 8 is ignoring condition details. Simply saying pre-owned condition doesn't tell buyers very much. Are there flaws? Is it in excellent condition? Is it heavily worn? Is there pilling? The more information that you provide, the less uncertainty that buyers feel. And buyers love certainty. They love to know that that item is going to work for them. If an item is in excellent condition, tell them. If there's no holes, stains, or tears, tell them. If there's a flaw, tell them. Again, the more confidence you create, the easier the sale becomes. And number 9, using distracting backgrounds. And this is actually one of the easiest fixes on the list, and it can help make you more money on every item that you sell. The item should be the star of the photo, not the laundry pile in the background, not the cluttered room, not everything else going on. Now, don't swing too far in the other direction either. Let me explain. You don't need an elaborate flat lay with sunglasses, a hat, a pair of shoes, necklace, props everywhere. That can also create confusion. Remember, you're selling the shirt. You're selling the one item. You're not selling the entire outfit. And a clean background keeps the focus on that one item. And if you want to take this a step further, go ahead and use a background remover. That's the one editing tool that I use consistently. It's actually built into my workflow in a tool that I use that is called Vendu. You can see that whole listing process along with that tool in a video I will link up at the top of your screen. But however you remove your backgrounds, it can give your listings a much more professional look. And like I mentioned, it can absolutely help you make more money per item. And finally, number 10, pricing without checking solds. Actually, I take this a step further. Don't even list without checking sold. Before you spend 5 minutes creating a listing, before you hit that create list button, before you even think about pricing, you should know for certain whether that item is selling. Because if it's selling for $5 or not selling at all, you might decide your time is better spent elsewhere. Now, here's something that many sellers don't realize. The sold filter inside eBay is convenient. Now, I use it all of the time, but the information there a lot of times is not accurate. And the suggested pricing that eBay gives when you're going through the listing form isn't always based on truly comparable sales. So for better data, the best tool is eBay's product research tool. It shows you the actual sold prices and shipping information, and it's completely free to anybody on eBay. You do not have to be a store subscriber. That tool will give you one of the best ways to understand what buyers are really paying, even when things like a best offer was accepted. The good news is that none of these require more inventory, more money, or more experience. Most of them can be fixed the next time you sit down to create a listing, and I'd encourage you to do that right after finishing this video. Sometimes it's not finding better items that increase sales, it's presenting the items you already have in a better way. Now, if you're wondering how I get closed listed quickly, then you're gonna wanna make sure to check out this next video where I show you my exact process. Just click here and I'll see you there.